Blessings and welcome everyone. Just a reminder before we begin. Your rising sign horoscope will give you additional clarity as to how a great deal of your sun sign horoscope may show up, and your moon sign horoscope will give you the less prominent side story that'll also be playing out for this 2-week period. Remember, horoscopes serve best when observed, like a weather or traffic report. You have influence over all outcomes with your thoughts, actions, choices, and deeds. Use the information that presents to help you make the highest choices for the highest outcomes. If you wish to schedule any of my services or like access to more content via my Patreon, follow the links below or go to my website, integrativemysticism.com. Hi there, Sagittarius. It's time to have a look and see what is going on with regards to the week starting February 15th, 2021. And yes, we have gone back to doing weekly horoscopes. To be fair, I did enjoy doing the bi-weeklies. Okay, I liked doing them this last month and a half, but in addition to getting punished by the YouTube algorithm and just kind of noticing that the polls I was putting up, like on the YouTube community page and things like that, were, 50-50, even though the comments were all overwhelmingly positive, I kind of felt like, all right, there is still an adjustment that needs to be said. No one seems to be giving me any kind of feedback as to why it might need to change, but I was talking to my friend, and he brought up some very salient points about the potential for information overload, and then, with the infrequency of uploads and things like that. And so I was like, you know what? That is some constructive feedback that I will use and take into consideration right away. So I decided to do that and switch back to bi-weeklies. Not bi-weeklies, switch from bi-weeklies to weeklies now. That being said, the astrology that we're talking about in this particular video is actually affecting the next 2 weeks. So the tarot in this video is for next week, or the week of the 15th, but the astrology is going to be carrying us through about the 25th, 26th. So just keep that in mind. And that's because we got a new moon, and new moons and full moons are 2 weeks in their influence. And on the 11th, we actually have a new moon in Aquarius, which is in your third house of communications, pacts, promises, commitments, your peer group, your vocational training, and your community. And this is something, well, again, while it starts on the 11th, it actually goes all the way up to the 25th, 26th. And this new moon is unique because it's also square to Mars, which is actually in your 6th house of work, your reputation, your schedule, your teams, services you provide to the world, anyone who's kind of working on you in your crew, working around you, all of that. And we see actually a new contract or a new offer, a new collaboration, or a big break showing up with this new moon. But it's pulling you off a path that you're on or out of a lane that you're in. And it shows great promise for you in both lifestyle and your life's work. However, you're going to need to be diligent when it comes to reinforcing this new shift if and when old teammates, clientele, or anyone who's kind of most closely with you, even outside of work, friends, relatives, partners, things like that. If you're kind of noticing that others in your community are resisting or attempting to struggle against this change to their routine, or a change to their normal, or a change to the path they're on based on a change you're making with your own life path. And so you're going to be finding that sometimes, some folks might get a little bit rattled by this. This is coming to you. This is about you. But if it does create a need for people to adjust accordingly, life happens, you may find that over the course of the next 2 weeks, you're going to need to find a way to make it easy on them, but also not stifling you, right? We want to step away from what is stuck. We want to step away from what is not going the same direction as we are anymore. And so if you are finding that this next 2 weeks is pretty trying, sure, try and find a way to make this transition as painless and easy as possible for other people, but don't sell out. As we get on to your cards, when it comes to your spiritual themes, what's going on just across the board, you've got the Seven of Cups upright, and Interestingly enough, I'm actually seeing with the Seven of Cups, your big advice is to open up the world for yourself. Open up your options. If you've been going through a lifestyle or a pattern this last few months, I feel like this could be even the last few years for some of you Sagittarius people, where your options have been limited by the employer you have, the company you're keeping, the space you're living in, the lifestyle you're carrying on. This is a time where you get to see what you've not been able to see. This is a time where you're getting to see where there is a universe of infinite possibilities, regardless of what this person's saying, what he says is possible, what's freaking her out, what's limiting this, what is blocking that. You are actually having the world open up to you this whole week. So allow for some room for movement and those options to open up as well. You don't have to have a singular path or singular road from point A to X destination. You actually have possibly even some shortcuts showing up for you to take if you're willing to deviate from maybe a path another person set you on, or maybe something you've been kind of pulled down the road with. As we get on to your work life, your job, your finances, your living situation as it relates to practical affairs, as well as your upward mobility or any other employment opportunities coming up, we do have the Ace of Swords in reverse. And I am seeing that there is an opportunity that is being presented to you, but it does look like it is something that is having some kind of veil put over it. Now, whether this is an opportunity that is very clear and offered, but the veil is a veil of discouragement. You don't want to go that way. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. No one does that. Just trying to kind of undermine your confidence in it, whether it's coming from a boss, again, coworkers, clients, customers, whatever. The Ace of Swords reverse is indicating a breakthrough for someone who's brave enough to check it out. Brave enough to go beyond that. Now, the Ace of Swords reverse is also indicating, however, a need for you to also take matters into your own hands, where somebody who is in charge of something that you left with them, whether it's an application, a bit of correspondence in that way, or maybe a matter that they said they would handle for you, you need to go and either follow up or take it into your hands and get it done yourself. And you will succeed. You will do a good job, better than they're doing not doing it. But it's, again, a veiled challenge with a veiled reward. And as far as finances are concerned, fortune favors the brave when it comes to the Ace of Swords reversed in this respect. I'm not saying do anything reckless or stupid. I'm just saying that, challenging maybe your fear of going against the grain in these respects is going to yield a lordly bounty. As we get on to your communications with friends, relatives, maybe other people in your life, you do have an update. No, you do have the Hanged Man in reverse. And with the Hanged Man in reverse, it does look like we may actually have a challenge that we need to face helping somebody that is not helping themselves. And with the Hangman reverse, this is something that will end up probably being a consistent topic of conversation this week. With the Hangman reverse, this does look like a situation. I'm feeling like this person has entered a stage of resignation with their life. This could be a friend or a family member who is dealing possibly with some kind of mental health issue, or maybe something that they have not developed properly within themselves and their social skills, something going on with their job, something going on with their relationships, but they seem to be kind of like just dangling, even though it's the Hangman reversed. And one of the things that I'm finding with the Hangman reversed is that a lot of you Sagittarius people are going to be able to find that help, but it may be an intervention, prevention type of action that you have to take. And so, get the assistance and the backup if and where you need it. As we get on to your challenge this week, we have the Ace of Wands upright. And one of the things I'm seeing with the Ace of Wands is that I think the biggest issue that that you're going to be dealing with is actually making your decisions at a quicker pace than you're used to making, because the Eight of Wands upright is like, it's an overwhelmingly positive card, and in a challenge position, it's challenging you to keep up with it, keeping up the pace with the opportunities that are showing up, keeping up the flow, keeping in the rhythm with the, with the developments that are occurring this week. Because we have such emphasis on making sure that we mitigate any kind of stagnant or slowing or stymieing influences around us, it could be a good articulation of that challenge, because with the Eight of Wands, we need to make sure that everything flows not only efficiently, but that we are able to meet things as they come, not receive the news of an opening that, may have a short window and not be able to get to it until Saturday or Sunday. So pay attention to where the pace is, okay, and meet it. Do not try and slow it down. As we get on to your relationships with love and romance and partnerships, we do have the Five of Swords upright. And I am seeing that there does look like to be some kind of conflict that is coming up here, especially with regards to partnered Sagittarius people. Now, this is not something I feel is necessarily going on between you and your partner, but you may be finding that a partner is at risk of maybe alienating themselves from either friends or from an opportunity that is actually very, very good to them, or that could actually provide a big breakthrough to them. Now, one of the things with the Five of Swords I'm seeing is that this could actually be stemming from some kind of internal struggle or some kind of unresolved emotional issue that is, of course, coming up out of context and creating a worse situation for your partner than really needs to be there. Find a way to bring some peace into the situation, but also at the same time know when it's important for your partner to get a good look at what, the ramifications are for some of their actions. It's not about taking anyone's side against your partner, but it's also not about, kind of pandering to it either. I think that with a bit of tough love, but also honest love, this can actually be something that helps your partner even save this friendship or this family relationship they're struggling with. As we get on to those of you who are currently single, or those of you who are available to new people, the Five of Swords upright is indicating that you may be meeting somebody that is struggling to kind of find out who they really are this week, and I would urge you to maybe tread lightly and take the advice of that Seven of Cups upright and keep your options open. With the Five of Swords, I do not feel like a lot of new relationship opportunities will be getting off on the right foot as far as the Sagittarius reading goes, right? I mean, don't forget to check out your rising and your moon sign, see what else is going on. Remember, the moon sign gives you the less prominent story, the B story that's going on this week, so I really hope you don't, skip the intros, because otherwise you're missing out on that. But with the Five of Swords, what we have is, a lot of new people, a lot of new situations might be not what they present themselves to be. And if there's a lot of instability or imbalance going on the inside, it may come out anyway, regardless of what they're putting on the outside. So that's what I've got for you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. Should you ever want to get a session with me, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.